Good evening, Las Cruces. Thank you for joining us for this month's episode of Bridging the Badge. Here today we have Ms. Elena Morales, who's actually the Deputy Director of Economic Development here at the City of Las Cruces. Good evening, Ms. Morales. Tell us about yourself.
Good evening. Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us.
Good. Thank you for having me today. I've been with Economic Development for a year as Deputy Director, and prior to that I was Economic Development Coordinator for 2 years. So I'm still new in this process and learning every day, and hopefully I'll give you some information that you weren't previously aware of.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm sure a lot of people in the audience might not know what that is. Tell us a little bit about economic development and what they do in the city.
Sure. So economic development is kind of different kind of capacities. We help with workforce within the city. We deal with a lot of partners with workforce like NMSU, DACC, and making sure that we're helping the community, find the right matches when it comes to job placement, also placement within our city, and seeing how we can, help with that growth. We also have a business development section, which helps local businesses with support with local programming, which we'll get into a little bit later, as well as expansion and retention. If you're looking for a new location where you can go in the city, as well as startup businesses, what resources we can point you to, and then also getting new businesses to come to Las Cruces, and these are more of the bigger companies, like for our industrial park, manufacturing, those type of things fall under business development. And so we also work with Film Las Cruces a lot, and partners like Mavita, such as Metropolitan Mesilla Valley Economic Development Alliance, DLCP. So it's kind of a lot of categories to go over. But
it sounds like it's that there's a lot of avenues in which the citizens and companies and future companies coming to Las Cruces have a way of connecting with the city and connecting with the government of the city, right?
Definitely. Awesome. And we try to partner you up with the best resources, whether it's internally. Sometimes they need help with permitting, and that's not necessarily economic development, but we know who to refer you to in community development, or, you have an issue with your business and vandalism, then we'll send codes out, or our community team. So
and we tend to work hand in hand and at least have those connections within the city in different departments.
Definitely.
So we brought 2 slides today to kind of try to explain the kind of help that economic development do. On this first slide, it's a metropolitan redevelopment area. And can you tell us a little bit about what that is? And from future, we're going to reference this as MRA.
Correct.
What is MRA?
So metropolitan redevelopment area is an area within the city that we designated as blight or needs redevelopment. So this is typically located in our city's infill area. So basically where the heart of the city was many, many years ago. I know now we're kind of going out towards the Sonoma and East Mesa area. So typically when there's growth, sometimes there's neglect in those original areas. So we want to make sure that we bring more revitalization business resources back into that area. So what we do as economic development is we designate these areas so that we're able to put more city resources back into them. So a portion of the gross receipts tax that's accumulated in those areas gets reinvested back into it. And it's just another tool that economic development has to kind of get around anti-donation, to be able to use that and help those areas.
Awesome. And I see from the slides that there's certain areas here such as downtown, El Paseo and Solano, West Picacho and Motel, Amador Promixo and South area, Apodaca and Lift Up area, east of Solano neighborhood area, and the Mesquite area. I don't know if that's an all-encompassing list, but are there more neighborhoods that we did not talk about?
No, that's all of them so far that have been designated. So we've had downtown for a long time already, as you know, and there's been significant progress with downtown. The other areas we're trying to do one a year. So once the area is designated, then we go out and hire a consultant to help them give us recommendations on help with the revitalization. So we just adopted our El Paseo South Solano plan, which we're working on, and we're in the process of our West Picacho and Motel plan.
And what does the plan entail? What can citizens see to or expect to see changes?
A lot of the plan is history on the area. If there's existing plans that have been put in place, like for example, there's the Apodaca Blueprint Plan, and so or Realize Las Cruces. There's certain plans referenced in the history of where it came from, what issues it's facing, what opportunities of growth does it have. And then it goes into different recommendations, say for infrastructure. So if I'm using this as an example, West Picacho is a problem area when it comes to pedestrian hits or, I don't know, traffic. I'm just, it gives information as to how to help with those areas, whether it be add bike lanes, whether it be widen the street. And so the plan really just gives recommendations on to help that area. And it can be from housing, it can be from programming. So it's kind of an all-encompassing plan on just how to bring that area back to life.
Awesome. So thinking of these MRA locations, do citizens have any input or any suggestions of locations that could be designated?
So when it comes to the designation of new areas, it's more data-based. So it has to fall under a certain criteria, and you have to meet these criteria. We did have community input in the designations as far as what people wanted to see, but it's also a lot of statistics that determine these areas. And so that's how we came up with these 7.
Awesome. And so what you're saying is citizens, once their area is designated and we have a plan, they can help devise some kind of a plan or give input of what they might want to see?
100%.
Awesome.
So once it is designated and we're in the process of the plan, making the plan, there's numerous community input meetings that we have with stakeholders and with residents, and they give us information on what they want to see in their area, what are their struggles. We want to hear it from the people who actually live and work in the area, and also the surrounding areas, because we go and visit downtown even though we may live on Sonoma Ranch. And so the more public input we can get in MRA plans, the more we're able to tailor it to our community.
And as a citizen of Las Cruces, or maybe somebody who frequents the downtown area, how would they be aware of when they can put in input or when the changes are coming?
I would say to follow us on social media. That's the biggest way that we get information out. Also, our website's Hot Topics is a good resource, but follow us.
Great. And then a lot of our information, I'm coming from the police department, a lot of our information, input, applications, statistics come out on all our social media and news release. So it's always a great place to get updated on the city of Las Cruces. Moving on to the second program that we're going to talk about today in economic development, what can you tell us about the storefront repair program?
So the storefront repair program is a program that we're helping small businesses who've experienced vandalism, whether this be breaking of windows, locked jamming of door frames. Sometimes things happen. Maybe they didn't steal anything, but sometimes there's vandalism that occurs. So with the ARPA funding, we're able to give up to $5,000 in repairs for those damages that have occurred. It doesn't include stolen items or anything like that, but if there was damage to your property, we can definitely help with that.
So what you're saying is some of these businesses who are victim of crime, if there's any damage to their property or damage in the burglarizing of their crime, they might be able to apply for this program?
Correct, and that is a citywide initiative, not just for MRAs. So anybody experiencing something like that, they can go to our website under businesses and business incentives, and you'll be able to see the application online.
Awesome. And so what is the process? So if I'm a business owner and my location was broken into and there was maybe some vandalism or some damage, do I go online, apply, and what's the next step?
Correct. So when you go online and you go to Business Incentives Storefront Repair Program, it has basic questionnaire. It'll ask you for your contact information, your business information, and just a couple questions. Once you submit that, I get an email, and I'll email within 24 hours back to you, letting you know of the documents that are required. So it's 5 things. We need your business registration or your business license. We'll need a police report. We'll need photos of the damage, and it is a reimbursement program, so we'll need photos of the repair, and then also receipt of what you paid for the damages. So it's just 5 things, and I'll walk you through it all the businesses, and once I have that information, then we just go through the process in getting you paid.
So is there a limitation of me being a business owner and being a victim of one of these crimes and trying to apply? Is there a time frame that I have to apply and get all those items to you?
First come, first serve with funding. I will say we have more than half of our funding left, so we have about $150,000 left.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we have till December 2026 to use it all. So we're really encouraging businesses to come apply because, the money leaves us. The funding's there, and if you don't use it, you lose it. So we're really working with PD and getting that word out whenever you all, get those calls of vandalism to please let the businesses know about this program because we have to use it pretty quickly.
Awesome. No, I appreciate you coming on the show because this will hopefully tell somebody who has been a victim who wants to get some of this storefront repair program and get some of these funding, or you may know somebody who does. And coming from the police department, I can tell you that community outreach will do a lot of follow-ups
Right.
on burglarizing or businesses who have been vandalized, and sometimes they're not aware of this program. So trying to get the word out there and get it spread is really, really great. Is there a maximum of funding that they will receive?
So the most you can receive is $5,000. It was $2,500, and we increased that July 1st. And you can apply multiple times as a business. That is also something that changed July 1st. Before, you were only able to apply once as a business a year. But because for some reason, sometimes businesses get hit more
They're
than
reoccurring
once,
victims,
correct? And it's within usually the same area. We took it to council to change that, so you can apply as many times as needed.
Awesome. So even if you're a business out there and you have received this program in the past, and there's a new incident with a new case number, a new
Right.
police report, new repairs, they are more than welcome to come and apply again.
Correct. We'll still need those 5 items for every incident, but yes, you can.
Great. Well, Ms. Morales, thank you so much for coming on Bridging the Badge. Is there anything else in economic development that you'd like the viewers to know?
No, the only thing I will say is, tying in storefront repair program to MRAs, we're really trying to find programming that helps, small business owners. And we're currently in the works of a new program, which I won't speak to too much because we have to take it to council to get approved first. But there is more to come with helping businesses and navigate these, stressful times when it comes to like vandalism and preventative measures for break-ins and things like that. So we'll be taking a new resolution in October for another program within one of the MRAs. So I'd just say follow us on social media so you can get more information about that.
Thank you, Ms. Morales, and thank you everyone for watching. Again, we're just trying to make Las Cruces better and trying to help out our community. So if you have any questions, feel free to email us or follow us on social media and news releases. We'll see you next month for Bridging the Badge.